Hello guys, happy Sunday and also happy Father's Day to all the good fathers out there who take care of the kids and their wife, okay? Because not everybody's good. Anyway, so happy Father's Day to everybody. Today guys, I'm gonna be making apple pie, and you know, it's Father's Day, so this could be a nice dessert today, because I know a lot of people at home cooking and do a lot of that for those good dad. Okay, so folks, when you're making an apple pie, one of the best apple to use, because it's sweet against tart, right? So you're gonna look for an apple that is tart, and the best one is Granny Smith green apple. Okay, if you don't have access to that, then guys, then you could use anything else that's available. But this one, you get the, you know, when you're doing baking or whatever, you always go to get the best result. Okay, so this is the apple that you would use if you have access to it. If not, just use whatever. And some people might not like this, so you use whatever you like. And I'm using about 9 apples, right? You make sure your apples are washed and peel, and you know, slice them to how you want them, but make sure when you slice them, they all slice on the same size, because that's for the cooking process. So this is you know, ones I just finished do, so I'll just show you how basically to do one. And I'm using about 8 or 9 apples, and you know, once you cut them, you know, you just rub a little, if you don't have, because you know, you're gonna be peeling 8 apples, 9 apples, or you could use a whole bag, depends on how much apple pie you want to make. And you just rub a little lemon juice over them, just to keep them so they don't turn dark. So this is it. So you're gonna cut the apple like this, okay? And you make sure you remove the core from inside it, like that. You know, it has to be, you know, clean. No seeds or nothing should go into the apple, like that. Okay, I cut up everything already. I just thought I'd just show you how. I like to just show people how to do one, because sometimes you could be a first time baker. You know, I've done this a few times, several times before. So that's it basically. And I'm cutting all of mine sizes will be a medium size. Okay, so basically this is what you, and please guys, don't let the seed get into your stuff, you know. So this is medium I'm doing, okay, and all of it I'm just trying to get on the same side. Okay, so that's all the apples right there. And yeah, okay. And so folks, so right now I'm gonna be adding 3/4 sugar, 3/4 cups of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, because that's very important too, also for flavoring in it too, folks. So that I'll leave the recipe in the description for you guys. And cinnamon is a must, folks. And this is 3/4 tablespoon of cinnamon. I think I like a little bit more cinnamon, so I use a whole tablespoon, but I'll leave that description in there for you. And nutmeg, you're gonna use about an 8 nutmeg. Nutmeg you have to be careful with, but about an 8 teaspoon of nutmeg. That's it. You don't need a lot of that. And that's, again, give this stuff a nice flavor. And you're gonna be using a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you will be using, for thickener, you're gonna be using 2 tablespoons of flour or cornstarch. Anyone will do, but I'm using cornstarch. And this is potato, I think, cornstarch. You can use any cornstarch, doesn't matter. If you don't have your cornstarch, you just use flour, all-purpose flour. But that will do, okay? And so that's all right there right now. And what we're going to be doing, folks, now, we're going to be mixing it up together. And it's going to be left for, I think, for a little while, maybe about 20 or 25 minutes, because we want the apple to really release all the juices in it. So I'm just going to use my hands are clean. And you're just going to mix up everything, sugar and everything. And those are going to help along with the lemon juice to release. Because from that juice, we're going to be using as the thick the juice that is gonna cook the apple pie, okay? And that juice we're gonna use for the apple pie. So What happens when you leave it like this? All the juice will be released, and I'll just strain it off in a little saucepan. So this is gonna be left for right now, folks, for about 20 minutes to half an hour. Okay. So see that smells so good from the cinnamon and the nutmeg, guys. So what I'm gonna be doing with that, I'm just gonna cover that over with some saran wrap and leave it for about, I always give it maximum, say about half an hour, because you know, so you get as much juice, all the juice as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna cover it like that and leave it for about half an hour, and in the meantime I'm just gonna start getting ready to do the dough. Okay, so this is gonna be left here. Okay, I leave that there for about 20 minutes to half an hour. And now, folks, we're gonna start working on the dough. And the dough, I'm gonna do it, mixing it in my stand mixer or a food processor. I know a lot of people, or by hand if you have a dough cutter, you or a fork, anything. But I love to do it in my food processor or my hand mixer. And I'm gonna be using the hand mixer right now because it's easier to clean. It's just one bowl, you know, so I'm gonna go for that right now. Okay, I know it sounds lazy, but okay, so that's what I'm gonna be using right now, my standing mixer. If you have a hand mixer too, I guess you could cover it over and use it also. So just that the apple is left right now to release all the juice. So we're gonna be over here right now where my hand mixer is. Okay, so just let me grab a bowl, rinse it out. And you know, I love to no, I don't need a bowl. I'm just gonna go straight from the mixing bowl. Let me just grab the flour, folks. Use up all the flour I have. And I keep my flour in the freezer once I open it. And I would suggest anybody who's in a hot country, do that. Because that protects your flour from all the weevil, you know. So that's what I do, and it keeps it fresh that way also. So once I open a bag of flour, and you know, one lasts me, unless I get a lot of requests to do baking. I do more cooking than baking, so. Okay, so folks, I'm just gonna measure it straight in and this is okay. I'm just gonna put that over it. Okay, so let me just get, I added 2 cups of flour. Okay, it's not a lot of ingredients, it's just flour, salt, baking powder. And about a tablespoon of sugar. Like lots of light. Okay, folks, so right now 2 cups of flour, and this is how I just tie up my bag and put it in the freezer. It's a beautiful day, folks. Where I'm at, as usual, I would say that the sun is shining. And you know what? It's not hot. It's just sunny and nice. So that's 1 cup. Come here. And folks, I'm so happy right now. I got my stove. So I have my oven working. So I am happy. No more convectional oven. Not that I have anything against the convectional oven, but this is awesome. Getting a stove with an oven. And I also got my microwave too. So I'm happy for that. So it's 2 cups of flour. You're gonna have 1 teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking powder. And folks, we're going to be using cold water, cold ice water. I think that's about so 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And also I also keep my baking soda in the fridge, folks, because it keeps it fresher that way. And if you have baking soda out, folks, the trick is, and you're going to be using it, an easy way to test it, you put some in a cup and add some water to it, and if it doesn't bubble, then you know it's flat, it's no good. I saw somebody was making dumpling the other day. I think it was on one of my favorite shows, Jonah Spearfishing in Jamaica. And he wanted to cook, doing some fried dumpling, folks. And when they finished cook the fried dumpling, they have, you know, they have the baking soda and everything. The dumplings were tough, very, very tough, you know. So what he realized is that baking soda, the baking powder was no good, you know. So at the time, I think, I don't remember if I put in the comment for him to tell him how to keep his baking soda and how to test it to make sure that it's, you know, it's still good. So a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. Where's my sugar? Teaspoon of salt. And the salt I'm just going to put in because it doesn't have any lump. And I think I'll do the same thing. Yeah, the baking soda, the baking powder I saved, so. And we're going to go with a tablespoon of sugar. I'm going to put the sugar directly in, that doesn't make it to be thick. Okay. And folks, when I do the recipe, I used to do a lot of shorts and people tell me that, you know, they would, and which is, I understand, they would like to see how things are made. So this is why I go back to doing the full video. I know sometimes some of that, but you know, people want to know how to do the stuff. So after I finish, I'll make a short put up. And I know a lot of people have a short attention span, they go straight to the shorts, but there is a lot of people also would like to see the videos to see how it's done. So that's it right there. So right now I'm sieving the flour and the baking powder. Okay, and that's done. And you get the best result, folks, when you sieve your flour. Okay. So folks, I'm gonna just set it up and just get it mixed. I'll be right there, folks. 1 minute. just getting my cold water ready because ice cold water already. Get some ice cube because I'm gonna be needing about 8 to 10 tablespoons of water because it has to be just right. Okay, so I have the water here ready. I'll just bring the mix. Like I said, you could use the food processor also, but I don't want to clean up a lot of the food processor. You know, you have more parts. This, all I have to clean is that, and so I'm using my hand mixer right now, my standing mixer. Okay, and you know, folks, this is gonna splash. So when you're using an hand mixer, you got to start off very slow because I make the mistake and turn it on very high. And, you know, and you got to use your dough, the piece for the dough on it. Okay. Let's adjust the camera. And so I have my cover for it. Okay. So guys, this is the piece that you're going to be using for your the dough mixer. Okay. Okay. And I am going to be putting this on it because I'm going to start slowly buttering just in case. So at first, folks, I forgot one of the main important things. What am I thinking, folks? The butter. You can use butter or shortening. And we're gonna use a cup of butter. You wouldn't be a good you wouldn't be a good pie, folks, without the butter. So let me just grab the butter. And make sure, folks, your butter is as cold as possible, you know. And I'm using a cup of butter. Make sure it's very, very cold. Like overnight, you know, you put it in the freezer and let it get hard, then take it out the next day and do it. But the butter has to be in chunks and cold. So these two pieces, the butter is going to be on the flour. I'm going to do first before I add the water to it. Okay, so let me just grab the butter here. I'm glad I remember because you can't have an apple pie without no butter in it. And also, folks, you could use Crisco shortening if you like, you know, because you're looking for a flaky, very flaky apple pie crust, right? So you could also use Crisco shortening, and if you want to combine both together, but I'm just using cold unsalted butter. Okay, so here there's a cup, and I'm gonna add it in there right now. So this you have to mix up for a little bit. Okay. I almost forgot. So okay, I'm gonna start off slowly, folks. Because I don't want it to splat, you see, already. So we just get the butter incorporated. And then we start adding the water. Then you slowly increase the speed. now, folks, you don't want it to be totally, so let me see, what the consistency of the butter. You see, you want a hard butter. Yeah. Okay. I think the food processor, it goes a little bit faster, but that's okay. You want to make sure, yeah. So I'll just give it another whirl at it, and then we take it off. I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons. Start by adding 3 teaspoons of water. Tablespoon. Cold ice water. Then let's just keep adding now. Just mix it together. See it coming together now? That's where you need it. That's what you want to get. It just come together. So I already put about 7 tablespoons of water. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. This part with the dough is a messy process though, guys, but it's what it is, right? So I'm gonna add the last 2 tablespoons and just let it do its thing, and that's it. And we can just keep pushing it down so everything gets mixed in. Yeah. That's it. And just increase the speed a bit to let it, you know. Sorry for the noise there, folks. I should have done that off camera, that's it right there, folks. That's it. Beautiful. Sorry about the noise. It's just because I wanted to see how, you know, I had the water and all this that. Otherwise, I could have done it off camera. Okay, folks. So this is done, and this is gonna go to the fridge, and also wrap in paper saran wrap, and then I'll just hide the saran wrap in a bag. So I'll just so you see, a lot of people have a short attention, folks. So a lot of people not gonna want to watch. Well, you know, a lot of people used to watch the videos before the shorts came along, folks. So anyway, this is for people who want to know how to do it, because you know what, it's a little process. It's not, yeah, it's so you have to have a clean countertop, because we're gonna just mold it together and then stick it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. So I'll show you what it looks like over here. You're not going to need any flour right now with this, so I'll just bring the camera back over here. And I'll show you. So this is it here, folks. Okay, and it's gonna come together like that, see? Yeah, and then I'm just gonna stick it to the fridge in a saran wrap. So and then into a freezer bag. So this is what you're looking for, you see? Not watery and not too dry and just flaky in a sense. Because it's a pie crust we're dealing with right now, folks. So it's gonna go to the fridge. Just wiping out all the extra flour around the bowl. So folks, this is what it looks like here. Okay, and it's gonna go to the fridge for about 20 minutes. Freezer, into the freezer for about 20 minutes. Okay. So folks, so we come up because the apple is still releasing all the juice, and so when we come back we'll start on the apple filling, and then we get to this. So we're gonna stick this in the freezer for 20 minutes. Okay. So folks, I'll return shortly, okay? Alright guys, I'm back, and the dough is all set, and right now folks, we're gonna do the we are gonna do the thickener for the apple pie. And as I say, folks, right now, get you over here so you can see, and you're gonna see all the moisture that comes out of it. So we're just gonna strain it out, okay? And this is all the moisture. The apple pie was sitting there for half an hour. See, and you just give it another mix, a last mix, mix it up. Just mix it up like that together for one last time. Everything incorporated. Look at that juice, folks. So that's the juice, and you know what? You could use your smallest saucepan. My smallest saucepan is way underneath the counter, so I'm using the next thing to it. And we're going to strain out all of the juice, okay? All of it. Let everything strain right out, okay? To get all of that beautiful juice, because that is going to be the thickener, okay? So let all of that juice comes right out. See it's draining out. So you see the apple just sit there with the cinnamon, the sugar, the lemon juice, and the little nutmeg, and that get rid of all that you know, all that moisture, because that moisture is also going to be used. Everything in the apple will be used. So there you go. So that's all the juice there, and we'll just return this back to the bowl for now. And as I say, folks, the smell is so nice, because anything with cinnamon and nutmeg, you know, the smell is very nice. So right now, folks, for the thickener, I'll be needing 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And when you get your cornstarch, folks, you just mix it. You don't put it in dry. You mix it in some water. Okay, and make sure you mix it. And we're gonna okay, I'm gonna put this heat on right now, and we're gonna let this come to a little boil. You see, that's all the moisture right there now. Okay, then we add the cornstarch to it, and then we're gonna add a piece of butter. You know, in the recipe it's called for, like, if you use stick or you use cup. So I'm gonna use about a 1/4 cup of butter in it, and also after, and this is the pie I'm using, you know, glass one. You could use any pie thing you want to use. So right now we're gonna let this come to a little boil. Then I add the cornstarch to it. Then once it come a bubble, we'll take it off and add the butter to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it come to a boil right now. I just use the front burner because I want you to see it. Otherwise, I'll use the back one. It's going to be, you know, it's a little bit far away. So it come to a boil. Like I said, folks, if you just have a short attention span and you just want to watch the shorts, that's fine. But to make something like apple pie, you have to go step by step. So this video is for people who really want to see how it's done. You know, because like I said, I was doing a lot of shorts, and people, you know, let me know that, you know, they need to, you know, I should keep doing the videos because they need to see how, you know, in entirety how the thing is done. They don't mind having the shorts, but they love to see the videos to see how it's done, because there's a lot of people want to learn how to do things, you know, folks. So right now, folks, I have the cornstarch here. It's coming to a boil. So I have the cornstarch. At this point, I lower the heat. See all that moisture first from 9 apples, and it just sit there, and you just let it flow. So I'm gonna add the cornstarch to it, folks, right now, and then let it thicken up a bit. Then I remove it from the stove, and I'll add the butter to it in a bit. So I'm just gonna let that thicken up right now. And then we'll proceed to do the apple pie, to make the crust for the apple pie. Because this have to cool down a bit before I can add it into the apples, right? And the apples, folks, you don't have to cook the apples. Don't cook your apples. Leave them there because they're going to go to the oven, and they will cook in the oven. So the apple's going to go in raw. Don't cook it. Because somebody was telling me that they tried to make one day, but they cooked the apple first. And the whole idea, you know, it's not gonna have the same come out the same way, because the apples need to go in raw. When I say raw, uncooked. So this is just, I'm just gonna let this come to a boil now with the cornstarch. Then I have the butter ready to go in. And measuring, you know, you go both ways. I like to go with my cup and my, you know, liter or whatever, you know, but you could go both ways. So it's coming to a boil now, folks, because I want to get it thickened up, right? And that's why I lower the heat right now. And when it comes into a boil, it's going to have this gel form, you know, I guess from the apple I mix with the cornstarch. So let it boil up, then I just add the butter and put it aside to cool. So it's thicken up. And folks, when you mix the cornstarch, it's 2 tablespoons, so make sure you mix it so, you know, it's not too thick, you know. You don't have to use your judgment with the amount of water. And use bottle or filter water, folks. Your stuff come out much better than the chlorinated water in the pipe, you know. It's getting thick right now, folks. Getting thick. See? Look at that, folks. You see? Okay, you see that? That's what we're looking for. See that? Thick, almost like jello right now. There you go. That's what you want to get. And I just turn the stove off. And I'm just going to have the butter in it, folks. A piece of butter. About a half a stick of butter. Or a quarter cup of butter. Either way. So that's the and I'm also now just gonna grease the pan. See, folks, that's what we're looking for now at this stage, because this has to be thick because it's gonna be going inside the apple pie, you know, with the, so you don't want to get it too watery and it affects the pie crust. Okay, so we're just gonna leave it. See, that's it. That's what we're looking for. See that? And the butter is almost, you know, melted. So we're just going to leave it off the stove. So that's going to stay there, folks, and cool right now. You know, the stove is off. This is what we're looking for, folks. That's it. See? Thick. That's going to be the filler there, the thickener. Okay? So once that's cool, then I can apply that to the apples. But it has to go on the apple cool, not hot like that. But we don't want to have the apples cooked. And folks, right now I'm gonna what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna grease the pan, the pie pan, and set it aside. You don't have to flour it. I just grease mine and it comes out pretty good. I think this is about an 8-inch or a 9-inch. I'm not sure. But you know, when you do your apple pie, you're gonna do it to the size you want, and you go with the recipe. And I'm just, but this is, I think it's about maybe I don't know how much inches this is, but folks, I don't think it matter. It depends on the size of your pie you want to make, you know. So okay, this is grease, and we're gonna put that aside right now. Okay, and the apples, we're gonna leave them at a cool spot over there. And this is cooling right now, folks. See, that's the thickener there for the fillers. Okay, so I'm gonna just secure my countertop right now. That's where I'm gonna be doing all of this. So the pie, all of this right now. It's not hard, folks, but it's a lot of work. It's, well, I wouldn't say a lot of work. Once you know what you're doing, you can do it very quickly. Okay, so make sure your countertop is clean. I'm just gonna put down some flour. So we're gonna do a lot of roly-poly right now, folks. This is the messy part here, folks. This is the messy part here. Out of mess comes beauty, comes something. Okay, so I just put down some flour right there now. So folks, this is, the dough was in the fridge for about 20 minutes. So it's hard right now. Let's take it from the saran wrap. Okay. And folks, the dough is going to be cut in 2 pieces, because we're going to need one for the cover and one for the base. Okay. So it's very tough right now. So I'm going to cut it in half. Okay. Very, very, because it was in the freezer, folks. So I'm going to cut it right now in half. Try to get, okay. And half for the bottom and half for the top. So this half, folks, that we're not working on right now, you don't leave it out. Put it in the saran wrap and keep it in the fridge. Not in the freezer, because you don't want to have it dried out. Just keep it in the fridge till you're ready for that part, okay? So the part that you're going to be working on now. Okay. Okay, folks, so let's see what we can get done now. That was in the freezer, so it's going to be a little bit hard. And we're going to want to get a round shape. So let me see now. Let's start. This is where you get your exercise, folks. This is where the work comes in. Good dexterity here. And if it starts to fall apart, you just stick it back together and keep rolling. Keep rolling. We want to get it a little bit bigger than the shape of the pie plate because like I said, folks, this is where the strength's gonna come in, okay? And folks, this is gonna take a bit of time, so I'm gonna come back, okay? So guys, I'm back and I have the first one all rolled out here. So what we do right now, folks, you're just gonna go like this with the rolling pin, roll it over the rolling pin, you know, all the way over. And it makes it easy to drop it on the pie. It doesn't have to be perfect, folks. Then you just slowly roll it out. See, like that. Perfect. Like I said, most of the end is going to be cut off. So you're not looking for, don't worry about that. Yeah, so you have your small scissors with you. And that's going to do the trick. So this is the bottom part here, folks. And I'm just going to cut around the edges. Then we start on the cover, okay? Let me grab me a little scissors. I should have all my things ready, but that's how it goes. Wash right there. Stirring the shit out. So folks, we're gonna clip the edges right now, and those edges you could use to make if you want to make a little apple pie thing or something like that. So I'm just gonna, so nothing, you could put them in the freezer and use them another time. Want to make a, you can make a little apple pie if you want. So this is the edges I'm cutting off here, okay? Yeah, cut off all the edges. See, just cut off this part. This is the excess here. And like I said, you can make yourself a nice little apple pie or something with that. Put it in the freezer till you're ready to use it again. Okay. Cut off all the excess piece. Guys, I didn't wear an apron and my my blouse is flowery, but you know, oh, I don't care as long as I get my result. Okay, so these are the pieces here, folks, and you could all put them in a bag, put them in the freezer and use them again. So this is the bottom part here. Gotta make sure you cut it because the top part gonna cover it. Okay, and they have, okay, and so this is where your skill come in, folks. And this is a nice part to have the kids around. You're gonna cramp it up like that, make your little shape, you know, like that. As you go around like that, the other piece is gonna put over it. One finger inside and two outside, and you just like that. Okay, there, all the way around. You know, so you're just gonna go all the way around like that, okay? And extra, let me get off the extra pieces. because you just want to have it at the right measurement. Okay. And some people don't even do that. You just, you know, do it out and so you go like this, 2 finger on the outside and 1 inside, and you just make your, that's it. You see that? That's it. That's it. Sometimes it leave a little, if you do it too close. Okay. That's it. You go right around and just crimp it like that. Like that. The same technique I think with the gizzard. If anybody can, you could go on my YouTube and see the gizzard one. The same technique. So we're gonna go all the way around like that. And when you put the top piece on, the same thing. So yeah, just make your little crimps as you go around with your fingers, like that. Okay. Okay, and right now folks, we're just gonna put the filling in. Gonna put the apple pie in. Oh, make a few little poking, yeah. And we're gonna just mix it up, incorporate it again before you put it in. So everything is. And folks, there's even still more juice in the apples coming out. Still more juice. Gonna put your apples in. Okay. Look at that, folks. That's more juice. So if you leave this like for an hour, folks, you will get so much juice. Depending on how big your apple pie is. Yeah, still more juice. I'm just gonna add the extra juice to the thickener. So folks, this is it right here. And what I'm gonna do in the meantime, I'm gonna stick this in the fridge, right? Because you don't want to leave it outside, because I have to make the bottom right now. So once you do the top, just put it in the fridge. Don't leave it outside, okay? Especially when it's, you know, you put it in the fridge, so because I want to keep it cool, okay? So I'm gonna stick back that in the fridge, and then we start on the bottom piece, okay? Sorry about that, folks. One minute, folks. I'm just trying to find some space in the fridge to put this in the fridge and then start work on the second piece. So this is the bottom piece we have here now, folks. Just gonna okay, this is the bottom piece, folks. And let me always sort of flour up your rolling pin, you know, I don't, so that way it doesn't stick. Okay, flour your rolling pin. So I'm gonna get this this is where you put in most of the work, folks. Getting this part of the dough, the crust, you know. Okay, so ready to rolling. This is where you get your exercise, folks, in your hands anyway. Folks, bad idea wearing long sleeve baking. You know, bad idea. I didn't plan on doing any baking today, but Father's Day, and my niece, they're coming by. Okay. So make sure you have flour underneath it, because otherwise it will stick.